the U.S. Senate Banking Committee advanced the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025, commonly known as the Clarity Act, with a 15-9 vote on May 14. The bill now moves to the full Senate for consideration. At its core, the legislation seeks to establish a regulatory framework that divides oversight of digital assets between the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. Under the bill, digital assets that meet specific decentralization criteria would be treated as commodities under CFTC supervision, while those sold as investment contracts would remain under SEC jurisdiction. This distinction is crucial because it determines which agency has authority over enforcement, compliance, and investor protection in the digital asset space. The Clarity Act also includes provisions addressing stablecoin issuance, anti-money laundering requirements for exchanges and issuers, liability protections for decentralized finance, DeFi developers who no longer control their networks, and restrictions related to central bank digital currencies. The 309-page bill has drawn both support and criticism from lawmakers and experts. Senator Tim Scott, the committee chair. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. Describe the vote as a historic example of bipartisan cooperation on a complex issue. He emphasized that the goal was to provide clearer rules for digital asset markets, which have grown rapidly in recent years, but remain subject to regulatory uncertainty. On the other side, Senator Elizabeth Warren led the opposition, arguing that the bill was too closely aligned with industry preferences and could weaken long-standing investor protections that have existed since the 1930s. Independent observers have offered mixed assessments of the bill's language. Rebecca Thompson, a securities law professor at Georgetown University Law Center, noted that the decentralization test in the bill remains somewhat vague and could lead to lengthy legal disputes over whether specific assets qualify as commodities. She suggested that courts may end up deciding many of these boundaries. Consumer rights groups have also expressed concerns about the bill's potential impact on investor protections. The Clarity Act introduces a framework that could reshape the regulatory landscape for digital assets in the U.S. by clearly defining which assets fall under the SEC and which under the CFTC. The bill aims to reduce regulatory ambiguity and provide more clarity for market participants. However, the vagueness of the decentralization criteria could lead to legal challenges and uncertainty, as different assets may be interpreted differently. The bill's provisions on stablecoin issuance and anti-money laundering requirements could have significant implications for exchanges and issuers, who may face new compliance burdens. The liability protections for DeFi developers who no longer control their networks could also have lasting effects on the DeFi ecosystem, potentially encouraging. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. More innovation while reducing legal exposure. The restrictions on central bank digital currencies reflect growing concerns about the role of digital currencies in the broader financial system. The next signal to watch is the full Senate's consideration of the bill. If passed, the Clarity Act could mark a major shift in how digital assets are regulated in the U.S. The outcome of the Senate vote will determine whether the bill moves forward and whether it retains its current form or undergoes changes in response to further debate.